If you guys are new here, my name is Matt Pinella with Matt Bangs Wood, and I spent $80,000 buying this 100-year-old home to where I could renovate the place with not a whole lot of money and make it nice again. If you haven't already, go back to the beginning of the series. You'll watch my explanation video and get to see the progress that we've made so far, all the way leading up to today. But in today's episode, I need to prime the bedroom. The master bedroom is about complete. I need a little office space. I need some storage space, a clean place where I can shut the door and everything's just finished. That's what that's gonna be. So we opted for a smooth texture. So this wall is very, very flat. If you guys have ever seen like a Venetian plaster where the wall itself looks almost like a concrete finish that was burned in, that's what we're going for on these walls. Not a crazy level 5 finish or anything like that, but it's smooth enough so that when you look at the wall, it's aesthetically pleasing. My wife designed this master bedroom and I'm super pumped to bring this to life. Let's not waste too much time. I need to change from looking like this to looking a little something like this. Now we're ready to do some painting.
Right here, we just need, actually, you know what, I do it right.
Alright, I have a fan blowing, so it's going to blow anything that's in here out. That way it's not all settling down on top of me, which will be nice. We're spraying that Kills 2 primer. I don't know what tip I have in here, but it's just the regular tip that comes from the Graco X17. Good deal. This room's been airing out for a minute. It's started to dry up. It's looking really good. I had half of a 5 left of that Kills 2. Sprayed that in here. I've got it pretty well coated, and for the most part, we're sealed up. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna let this dry out entirely and then come back in here and spray my base coat, my paint. We have a really nice color in here that flows pretty good, and this accent wall is gonna make it pop all that much more. But a little off topic, the PPE, the gloves, the full-blown Tyvek suit, the respirator, the goggles, everything. Over the years, I haven't been all that great about it. When I was younger, I didn't really care all that much, and I would spray rooms and buildings even with just a little sock over my head and a pair of glasses. And that little sock didn't stop a whole lot of the fumes and stuff that I was breathing in. So over the years, I've tried to get better with it. But anytime you have a paint project, I highly recommend you guys suit up, wear your gloves, wear your respirator, wear your glasses. If you're rolling, I don't see it as a big deal, but once you have a sprayer out and you're spraying it, you're breathing in quite a bit of it. One of the biggest issues I have when renovating my house like this is storage. This house is already pretty small. I'm barely over 700 square feet. But what I'm having trouble with is I buy a new paint sprayer. I have a table saw that I need to open still. All my DeWalt tools here. My truck is still loaded with tools. This room I have all of my cabinets. I have the DeWalt DXL in here. Insulation. I need to do the electrical in this room. And I'm constantly shifting stuff around so that I can get in and do stuff. And I really don't like it. Being honest with you guys, I do not like it. If you guys are anything like me, it's hard to work when you have all this stuff around you. Anything that's in this house that is not staying in this house, insulation, drywall, electrical, plumbing components, it's going out. I need it out of this house so I can work. And today, I'm fixing that. Unexpected cost, I really don't like it. Neither does my wife. But I spent $4,250 on what's about to pull up out front. So we graveled the driveway all the way to the back. $290 it cost me. 5 yards of gravel got put down, 3/4 inch rock, and this feels a lot sturdier. But what we're putting down today goes from here almost all the way back to the studio. and it's gonna help me out a ton with organization. The best part is it's not a fixed item. It's not gonna stay here. It'll go with me to the next project. I wanna build an A-frame cabin out in the middle of nowhere. A big one. Trying to figure all that out, but as of right now, that's my next project. And I can take this to the next one, which will be nice. Here's what I spent $4,250 on. 4,100 of it was for the container itself, 150 for delivery. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Matt.
Chance.
Nice to meet you, man.
You.
Hoping we can fit this thing in the driveway. The low overhanging line is just cable, so I'm not too worried about it. And we can hold it up and out of the way. But ideally, as far back that way as possible.
So he used to work for the city, and he said he used to shut the water off here all the time.
All the time.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, probably once a month I was here at his house.
Are you serious?
Yeah, shutting her down.
That's cool.
It'd be 2 or 3 days. He'd get some money together, and I'd come back out and turn it back on.
Right?
Yeah, there was like a bunch of vehicles in the driveway and all kinds of.
Really?
Because his neighbor said that he never paid for trash the whole time he lived
No,
here.
there's bags of trash.
I want it to flush out with the front of the house. That's it right there, the back. So if I'm spraying a house with this 24-inch extension here, it's nice because I can reach up to the ceiling without having to really reach. On an 8-foot ceiling, it works good. The issue that you have is as you spray, you have a tendency to whip your hand back and forth. And what happens is you end up whipping out and the paint gets softer as you go out. Ideally with paint, you stay parallel off the wall a good amount and you run a nice, clean, flat fan. You don't want to be whipping this thing around and overspraying off to the side. We're about to switch from the Kills 2 to the paint color that we're actually using. Pretty excited. I'm happy with it. I have a fan in there blowing, the little DeWalt $99 fan from Home Depot, and then I've got this one up here screwed into the header there. So the DeWalt fan is blowing air up the side of the wall, and then this one's blowing air out and getting it out of the house. I've sprayed a lot of different places, and I never thought the paint quality really mattered, but I think it does. It seems like the cheaper the paint that I buy, the more I have to coat the place, and it really doesn't get good wall coverage. Then again, a lot of the time I wasn't priming it, and I was just using the paint and primer that they sell at Home Depot. As opposed to this time, I did prime the whole entire place, coated it twice, let it dry, and then painted it. So maybe that's just what I'm seeing the difference in. But the nicer paint that I bought, the Bear Ultra from Home Depot, stuff was expensive. And I went in there and laid one coat down, and by the time that was through, I really couldn't even see where I was spraying the second time around. The distance from the sprayer itself to the wall is very important. If you're too close, it's tight. If it's too far away, it's really wide. This right here is what we call your fan. You want to keep your sprayer an equal distance to the wall. You don't want to end up going from way too far to neck down. It'll look something like that. You want to keep an even distance all the way through. The other thing you want to do is overlap. So as you spray, you want to go back over, and you want to go from about here down. You want to do that every single time. That way you get nice even coverage. I think I have something in my tip because I've got this line up here. I'll have to clean that out. But if there's one trade I would say you guys can do yourself, painting is definitely it. And if you're afraid to use a sprayer, go ahead and buy a roller and just roll the thing. If you get a good roller with a nice handle, it doesn't take that long to coat an entire room. Painting's one of those things where it's cheap enough that you could subcontract it if you want to, but I personally enjoy painting, so I do it when I can.
It's a little bit over the line.
On what side?
This side.
Yeah, so that side needs to go up. All good to go?
Here's that bad boy.
Good deal, man. Thank
right.
you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I needed a solution to be able to store as many tools and products as I possibly could inside the shipping container, so I went and bought a 90-inch Husky organizer for around $330 from Home Depot. I'm not a big fan of the metal grates that go on top for the shelving, so I cut down some 1/2-inch plywood to make my own. I want to store as many products as possible in here, and in order to do so, I need to make sure that I have a nice solid shelf, so that metal wire simply doesn't work. If you factor in the $700 I spent on metal racks, the $100 that I spent on plywood, I'm in this building right now around $5,000 flat, but it gives me one heck of a place to store stuff. And ideally, by the time I'm done with it, I have everything I need in here to build a house. And right about now, I was pretty thankful that I made this decision, because shortly after, the weather had its own idea of what we were doing today.
They just got thicker.
Get back in here! It's getting worse, brother!
You're in the eye of the storm, Larry.
So it's my dad's birthday tomorrow. He's been wanting to make the switch over to DeWalt, so I got him the Atomic Compact Series here. We have the drill and the impact set with 2 little batteries. He doesn't need these little 2 amp hours though. I have other batteries that I've given him. He also said he liked the planer, so I bought him a cordless planer. That's always a good tool to have. It's a pretty cool little setup. The whole thing wasn't $54, it was more like $200, but they're all separate. This bottom piece, this and this. This is what I use as a battery box. I think he'll be happy. Could you guys do me a huge favor real quick? In the comments down below, could you give me a list? Could be a couple things, it could be one thing. I'm not talking about tools. I have enough tools and I'm not so concerned about that. More so material. What am I missing here that I should have? Is it paint? Is it some sort of glue or caulking that I don't have? Is it screws or fasteners? If you could let me know in the comments down below what you feel like I should have in here, I would appreciate it greatly. I'm trying to prepare myself for the absolute worst. I want to be able to gut a house and rebuild it with this section here and eventually that over there. I think I'm going to double this up. But yeah, if you guys could let me know, that'd be awesome. I appreciate your input greatly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double for the switch. I think the switch might already be in there, but that's okay if it is. That room I was worried about symmetry. This room I'm not worried about anything. That takes care of plug, plug, plug. The electrical in this house runs from underneath, so what we'll do is hit all these guys and then go down, tie it all underneath. We didn't have to change a whole lot with the electrical in this place. We did get rid of a good bit of what he did, whoever redid the wiring here, but a lot of it was left, which is nice. That is so nice. Come out here and I just know where stuff's at. Since I don't have a color selected yet, what we're gonna do is just stick this up here. What happened there? Oh no, that looks terrible. I bought these for $300 on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. Don't buy them yet though, I don't know if they're good.
Say that again?
The bottom is more orangey and poppy with saturation. The top one dulls it down a little bit. The top one's called weathered oak and it kind of dumbs down the colors. Let me send you a picture from a different angle. After a few FaceTime calls, we finally made a decision on a stain color. And while they did look similar, one stood out a bit more than the other. But this house and these walls, they've seen decades come and go. They've seen families grow, laughter echo, stories unfold, and things that I probably can't even imagine. And now, with every day of work we do, we get to be part of that story. And you do too. It's easy to get lost in the deadlines and the never-ending list of things I have to do here. But sometimes you just have to stop and take it in. Because this isn't just a remodel. It's a revival. It's the chance to make something lasting. Something that matters. And when you stand back and look at it, you realize you weren't just building a house. You were building memories. You were building a life. Each piece of trim, every coat of paint, it's like adding another layer to this story. A story that started long before I got here and will continue long after I'm gone. It's humbling when you think about it, how the work we do today shapes the moments that others will live tomorrow. There's a reward in this kind of work that money simply can't measure. It's in the satisfaction of seeing old become new, broken become whole. It's in knowing that your hands brought life back to something that was almost forgotten. It really is the blue collar way of life, and I'm beyond proud of it. And maybe that's the real reason we do this, not just to build, but to preserve. To give life back to places that do deserve a second chance, because in the end, it's what makes it all worth it. We're getting somewhere on this place, and I sure hope you're enjoying the process. But that's all I've got for today's video, so keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you when we build the accent wall.